So let's start with
struggle bus.
AP out after Minnesota. Got a second at Oakland.
Don't know where that came from.
Don't know where that came from at all. And a 22nd at A2. So,
How do you think he can win?
I think he could win if he was on that Yamaha, but
I agree.
I think it's going to be another struggle year.
I think it is too.
My hope is he makes it through healthy. Because
I just don't know.
Yeah.
We all like Aaron. We really do, especially because of personality. Ohio kid, raced a lot in Michigan. Like, we all seen him. But I just don't
Fred
know where.
Freeze used to announce his races.
Yeah, great. I don't really know where AP. It's not like he's coming toward the end of his career. He still has a long time. We're talking about a dude who won two championships in 1 year. I don't know where his trajectory is, though. I don't know where he goes.
He had career suicide. We talked about this when he was going to KTM. It just wasn't a good idea.
But I don't know where he goes here from this, because, like, say hypothetically he just has a good year. Okay, whatever. Supercross outdoors, whatever. Just has
a good year for him right now is going to every race.
You know what I mean, though. Like, say he just has some good finishes. I'm not saying win, title, whatever. Just say he has a good year. Okay, fine. Then what? Like, I know that seems like a stupid question, but, like, then what? What happens then?
I bet he ends up back at Star.
I don't know where AP goes from here, because everybody likes him. He's always going to have a ride. If he
Actually,
can
you want
finish
to know where he goes from here? He goes to Gas.
Gas, fun one?
Because he has fun on Gas. Because Troy Lee will let him do a lot of shit.
And probably paint some really cool helmets.
Yeah.
I think he does whatever he can do to get back on a Star Yamaha.
Maybe, but
I mean, when Eli's gone and Dylan's gone, it makes sense.
yeah.
Where's Dylan going?
I don't think Dylan's going to be with Star for after
Where would he go,
2024.
would he go back overseas, you think?
I don't know where he's going. I just don't think he's going to be with Star.
Well, that brings me up to a point that about Star and with KTM and all that. So first things first, the bike. I don't think the bike is where it needs to be. Those guys are obviously struggling.
Struggling.
KTM
Struggling.
Huggies.
like
Glizzy, bro.
the KTM
No
guys.
cap.
They've got that corporate pressure. I mean, like Dean Wilson's interview where he just felt like he had an eye on him all the time. They submit their lap times and heart rate and all that, and corporate KTM can watch all that. I don't think that's Aaron's style. Bobby Reagan in an interview mentioned something about, Aaron wasn't riding very well, didn't know what to do. He locked him in the lounge of the semi, and they did karaoke with country music, and he went out and won the main that night. I don't think that's happening at KTM.
No.
No. Can you imagine Roger DeCoster in the lounge singing karaoke?
Roger hasn't talked to AP in 6 months.
You mean
or
you don't
more.
think that if AP won a race, they'd let him do, like, the worm?
Roger hasn't talked to
I don't
AP?
know, but that gets me into my next point. I did think that about KTM, that it was going to be super suit and tie. However, I do like the cowboy hat, the gear at straight rhythm. They are letting him be himself a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's to the point where he needs it to be successful.
Not at all. Not at all.
I just go back to the Star thing and hearing that.
I mean, the other question is, as far as like, are any of these World Supercross teams going to come do warm-ups, say at U.S. Supercross?
We have one World Supercross team already out there. So.
Let's save that for the end.
Okay, so if that's the case, I could see him going somewhere like that. But anyway, getting back to him in 2023. Like I said, I think a good season for him is he just needs to go to all the rounds.
Yeah, like a top 10 in points.
Like I said, I'm conflicted because I really like Aaron. I just don't know where his career goes from here.
He has to stay healthy.
But even if he stays healthy, though, be like, that's the thing. You say that, and I totally agree. But even if he stays healthy, I still just don't know where he goes because we have so many 250 guys moving up. Aaron is not old by any means, and his career's not close to being over, but he is getting older. And you got all these 250 dudes that are coming up that people would just rather spend money on the youth.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, even if he stays healthy and he gets a podium and he gets top 10s, still, once again, then what? And
I don't know.
He's not doing World Supercross. That's not happening. Aaron's personality will not.
No, he's not World Traveler.
He's the one dude you could say is never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen with him.
So I don't know
not
where
that World Traveler guy.
I don't know what he does, which really sucks because coming off that 250 year where he won both titles, his career was so promising.
I think
it was like he was.
Unless he has another year where he gets hurt and he's only doing like 2 rounds this year or something like that, there will be a spot for him somewhere.
Of course.
But
just because
he still has enough goodwill and enough marketability to do it. But outside of that,
how about that DBK Plessinger collab?
Oh yeah, I saw that. There's some good stuff in there.
DBK boys. I think that would be if DBK wants to go to the next level, start doing merch for guys.
How long do you think it is before there's a DBK team?
Probably not.
Because they're moving in that direction,
Probably
I
not
feel.
I hope soon.
Because they're making moves.
That would be awesome.
So,
Well, it'd be definitely a bunch of California kids.
That'd be a good thing to talk to Twitch about if you ever want to bro him down at the races.
yeah. So, okay. So, next rider here. So, is it best finish for AP? Or just
I think
we're just hoping he
I
gets
think he
all the
gets a-
rounds?
I think
he
he
might
gets
get
a
a random ass podium.
Look,
Yeah.
I
can
think
see
he'll
that
get a
too.
5th, and honestly, I think it'll be at like Daytona or something.
Okay.
Or if we have a mutter, he's on the box. Like that's almost guaranteed.
All right. So, let's move on to the best rider on this team.
After last year did not go well.
Oh, what? I really hope you're about to say Marvin Musquin.
The marvelous Marvin
Thank
Musquin.
the Lord you were said Marvin.
Did fun
I thought you were going our
fun
two-time
fact
champ.
here.
Fun.
Did you guys know they're having a kid?
That
Yeah,
I
I've
didn't
seen
know.
that. I
Found that out yesterday. They're
heard
supposed to have a kid like any day now, I
Good
guess.
for them.
Billman squeaked that out.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I did not
That's
even
awesome.
know that Matilda was pregnant,
No, I mean you can't tell.
which is
No.
crazy because
So I went back and I started creeping on him on Instagram.
Oh,
like,
my
where the
God.
fuck is all this? And they haven't posted in a while.
Good for them.
interesting.
That's awesome.
So Marv was 4th in points last year, which is ironic. Had
Sneaky
no
good.
idea.
Got a win in
Sneaky
St.
good.
Louis.
1 win.
He did get a win.
God, that was great.
And 14th in Arlington was his worst finish.
Yeah.
And I don't know what
How many
happened in that
podiums did he
race.
have again? Did you,
I don't know. I didn't
think
do
he
that.
had a couple sneaky good podiums.
I bet
Yeah.
I would assume
He was
that
the best Red Bull KTM rider.
and
last
he's
didn't
year.
going to
even
be
wanna
again the
sign
best. He's going to be the best Red Bull KTM
He's
rider.
gonna be good, best one again this year.
Literally getting fisted by them.
Yeah, we went over that enough in outdoors. That whole thing was
And
just-
I don't understand. I mean, I guess I do because he just doesn't want to. He's at the stage in his career. He's not trying to go out there and just like beg and plead for stuff anymore.
And
so
it's- and he's-
it
and
comes
he deserves
easy.
that.
Yeah. He
I will say this.
Well, let me put it this way: he deserves better than what he's getting right now. But
I will say this though, that if he ever wants to go back to Europe now with Tony Cairoli taking over things at KTM,
easy.
he's got a spot there. He has nothing to worry about. If
I don't think he
to
wants
just
to ride outdoors though.
No, but my point is that if he wants to, he's got
I
a
think
spot.
Tyroli would have open arms for him. yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Do you think he wins a race this year?
I mean, dude, he won a race last year, and I know that it wasn't in spectacular fashion. But yes, I
And
do.
no one saw it coming.
I do.
How many heel clickers we see this year?
I wouldn't be surprised to see one. To be honest with you,
I think we could see one heel clicker.
The thing that I like, I do. I think he gets a win. The thing I like, though, that he was talking about at the KTM intro is the fact that he has made a point now that he is not trying to go out and be the fastest guy in practice because he always, I need to be the fastest guy. I need to be the fastest guy. And he's like, it never translated into anything.
No.
And it's crazy to think dude, this guy's been pro since he was 16. He was one of the last few guys that like, yep, right, I'm 16. I think it was actually like 15 turning 16.
and he's what 32 now.
Yeah, he's our age, 32,
Yeah.
33. So he's been pro for a long,
Long time.
And it's crazy that it took him this long to figure that out, especially with a guy like the way Marv rides. But he's in his happy place. Now he's got a kid. And I'm glad that Marv got a win before he retired because we've all talked about it. I didn't really like Marv when he came over here. I've grown to like Marv a lot. I like his personality. Dude, that guy deserves nothing but the best.
There's only one thing that he needs to work on.
What's that? His
Shorten
interviews?
the interviews.
Yeah, that's a French
Shorten
thing.
the interviews.
God, I think if Vial wins a race this year, it's going to be the longest
Why? Are
interview
his
ever.
interviews long? Yeah, I guess I don't watch enough.
French people like to talk.
French people do like to talk.
Do you think he goes World Supercross after this?
I think he's made enough money. He can be done.
I mean, he could be done.
I think if he wants
But do you
to-
think he wants to
if he
keep racing and like go
If he
start
wants
traveling
to,
again?
that'd be a great place for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. He's.
But well, again,
I could see him
a
doing
kid
it.
involved.
Yeah, but
I think the only way he does it is if he actually just decides to go back home.
does he stay in the U.S.? I was gonna say that's the next
I
thing.
think
Does he
he'd have
stay in
to
the
decide
U.S.
to
or
go
does he go back
home.
to France?
No, I think he'd have to decide to go back home. Which ultimately, not that I think Marv has anything against living in the States. I think he has found his place between Florida and California. But I also think that he's one of those dudes that I look at just because of how much time he spends back in France in the off season. He's gonna go back home. I really do. I don't think he stays in the States after he retires.
Okay.
I think he's kind of like he was like Chad. He's been away from home for so long. now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So-
and she's from there too. They
Yeah.
packed
Yeah.
their shit and
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Moving on to the last rider on the team, Donnie. Timestamp this here. If Cooper Webb does not perform this year, he retires.
bold Cotton.
No, that's not happening at all.
Bold Cotton.
I know we've talked about him going back to Star, which I think is a big possibility.
I think that's 100% the possibility.
If he struggles like he did this year, he goes he retires. He's
I
done.
don't believe so.
He's got a kid. He's got a chick. He's got plenty of money. He's over it. And as much as he talked about being burnt last year, if it don't go well, he's out.
Well, then he's going to retire.
No, I think he gets to change the scenery and we get the whole group back. These guys need to revitalize their careers. KTM.
How old is he?
26?
25,
26.
Oh yeah, no. If he doesn't do well this year, he's out.
He's not doing well this year.
I don't believe that.
He's not doing. I don't know if I go that far, but I do agree. He ain't doing well this year.
Does he do so? Seventh
He
in
doesn't get a
points
win, he
last
doesn't get a
year.
podium.
He got actually. This is amazing because I didn't even think this was a thing. He got second at A1, Minneapolis, and Daytona last year, and a worse finish of
Should've won
20th
Daytona.
in Detroit.
Should have won Daytona. Minneapolis, though, I don't even remember how that race went.
I don't either. All I remember is
And I
everybody
also
got
think
carbon
in
monoxide poisoning.
In A1, he also kind of got that gifted to
Oh,
him.
so he was
Yes.
running third and Sexton weeded it and he got
Yes.
second. Okay.
Yep. And it also helped that even though they were behind him, Marvin Musquin were pushing towards the front, and then they just decided to do what they did to each other.
I don't know. He needs to have a good year. That's all I know. And if he does do shitty, I mean,
Have you guys heard
he
the
needs to
whole thing about why him and Alden weren't? Why he left Alden's?
I think I did hear that. I think Dean kind of dropped it, didn't he?
What did he say? Because I heard a thing yesterday. I can't remember if it was Gypsy Tales or somewhere else.
I have
Oh,
no
never mind.
idea.
That was why Jason left.
I have no idea. I just assumed that he just wasn't over the program.
No.
I heard that Jason left Element.
Him and Alden were fighting over money of some kind. And I don't know if it was because they wanted him to pay Alden and he didn't want to pay Alden the price that Alden wanted or whatever it was.
Shocking. It always comes down to money.
But I heard that was the issue. Probably shout out to Gypsy Tales.
It always
because
comes
I
down
think
to
that's
money.
where it was that they were talking about that. So
I will just
Who's he talking
say,
about that with?
Sleater.
Oh, Sleater don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
ever
probably
since he
was
moved
Sleater
all
that
the other
said
side
it.
of the world.
But yeah, it was a situation because like here's the fucked up thing, and they were talking about this, and I completely agree with them. So if you're a pro athlete, say like a pro football player, you get drafted to a team or traded to a team or whatever, you're signed, here's your paycheck. We have this trainer. This is who you can use. If you want to go outside that, that's fine. You're responsible monetarily for that. But we have these options for you here.
Yeah, so
You go
Eldon's
to
in his contract.
You go
and
to
they're
pro.
making him pay
You
outside.
go to pro Supercross or pro motocross, Supercross, Super Duper motocross. Hey, you're signed to KTM. You have to train with Alden Baker. Oh, by the way, Alden Baker sets the price, and you're not allowed to train with anybody else.
Dino actually did talk about this.
That's it.
Dino did
and
talk
then
about this.
and then he sets his own price. So no matter what, if you ride for us, you're locked into whatever he says. Your deal can be for $300,000 a year. He can be like, yeah, it's $200K to train here. What? No, fuck off.
Yeah, Dino made mention of
Fucked
this
up.
when he was with Jace. He was like, "Yeah, KTM pays all," and then when you tell them, "Oh yeah, like I don't want to be here anymore," KTM's like, what?"
And from what I understand now, I think KTM has changed that, and they are paying him directly, from what I understand.
Yeah, that doesn't.
And that could be completely wrong, but
Yeah,
that's
like,
what I'm understanding is
Before it was
going
like
on.
you sign your contract and they're like, "Hey, now you got to come out of pocket."
Which
and
is
pay-
what
pay
Star
this
is doing too, because Star, you sign there, you go live in, you have to move to Florida, whatever, that's fine. But you then use the facility or whatever, that's wrapped into your package. And what's his name who trains there? Swanepoel. Yeah,
Swanee.
You're wrapped into that whole thing. You can go outside of it. They're fine with that, obviously, but this is all included in your deal type thing. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
But I don't think he gets a podium. Definitely is not getting a win. Obviously,
You don't think
that
even podiums?
no.
I want to see. Give me 4 rounds before I really shit on him.
Yeah.
Look,
that's
all I know is,
kinda-
and I know that this was a warm up race, and you know they were still dialing things in with the bike. And
Oh, here we go. Paris talk.
Paris
was
it was
shit.
terrible.
Yeah, but I do want to point out he did make progress over the weekend.
He did, but at any point did you watch that race, any of those races, and go, "Yeah, I think Coop could win this"?
Nope.
No, not one.
In
fucking
fact,
time.
Marv passed Coop, and I went, that's not a very Cooper Webb thing because he pretty much let him by.
I don't.
They look terrible in
Look,
the whoops.
I
think
don't
his motivation
see.
level's very high to go to Paris.
I don't see the hunger with him anymore.
This is part of me talking about he's going to retire after this year if
I
it doesn't
think
go
the-
well.
I think the hunger thing is like the way he works, like the chip on his shoulder. Like he's like, I'm so over these guys in my ear telling me how I should live my life. Fuck them.
Now, we could be completely wrong, and he could completely flip us on our head this year and just come out and be Cooper Webb of whatever year
The
it was.
problem why I disagree,
Title years.
why I disagree with that is the last time he won a title in 2021, the guys he's racing now are faster than what he was in 2021.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's more of them now.
Yep.
There's more of them. And we still have a guy to get to. And I don't know if he's going to be next or the last guy to talk to.
Next. Yeah.
A little motivated, a little bit of a change of scenery, and I know that people are like, "Whoa, why are you talking about him about this?" I just don't see it. I think, and I said this last year, I think if you had 2021 Coupe, I think that guy could have won that title last year.
Yeah.
Well, now we've been through a whole year of Supercross. We've seen the speed difference. I don't think even if he got back to form of when he won a title, that is good enough anymore. Because I win a race here, win a race there, and then I get a podium, then I get a podium. No, dude, you have to win races multiple times.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up the mental game side that Coop likes to play. He's not playing that with 3 guys. When it's mono, he can play that game.
No, and the problem is
play it with 3 guys, and then you gotta try to keep track of who you're fucking with.
And here's the thing:
and the 2 of those guys he can't play games with.
He isn't fucking with Anderson,
and I think this Eli, he's not screwing with it. Now Sexton, that's a little different. But Anderson and Eli, you're not mentally getting. In
you think they can still get in Sexton's head?
Oh yeah.
I think with the way Coop likes to ride at the end of mains, that not the fact of I'm the big dog, but just the way he likes to run it in a little bit, show him a wheel, and then just the things that he does on the track.
I think like Coop getting in Sexton's head. You know how Sexton's come out and said that he listens to Taylor Swift and shit on the line, which is really, really weird to me.
Wild.
Really, really weird. But Coop would be the guy
There's so much
sitting on the
contrast going on there. Michael Jordan, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Coop would be sitting on the line.
And I took that shit personally.
I took that shit personally.
Coop would be sitting on the line. He'd look over and he'd probably say something like, "Hey, those did Taylor tell you get those frosted tips?" No, just nonchalant, like a joke, and he'd take that shit personally.
He would take that shit personally. I don't
think it's gonna go great, but like I said, it was one of those things. If he completely came out and did a 180 compared to last year, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, we're this.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a 2-time champion.
Yeah,
he's a 2-time champion, and look how many wins he's had from 2019 to 2021.
And he's Supercross only, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
okay, I thought so.
Yeah, he ain't never riding outdoors again.
Yeah,
no.
That's where I'm at. It's like he could come out and shock us, or he could come out and be the same guy he was last year.
Does he ride World Supercross after he's done?
I think they got to pay him a lot of money. I don't think that Coop wants to
I think they'd pony up the money for him.
I feel like Coop is more of old school, like Dungy and Villapoto, of like when he's done, he's gonna be gone essentially for a while.
I mean, he's gonna get fat and happy, and then just come back and shred.
If he gets a trot at a change of scenery, I think he's. I don't know if he goes back to Star Yamaha, he's winning a title.
If he goes back to Star, we could see a complete 180, I think, altogether. But we'll see. All right. Anything else with KTM before we move on? Okay, cool.